Hello class, good to see you. I want to go over with you the module number 3, formative and summative assessments. What you'll need to do is start off by clicking on the course documents green tab over on your left and then going over to module 3 assignment sheets. When you get there, you will see that today's module is about formative and summative assessments. Do put your name on these sections, and that is very helpful to me. And then let's begin with the section 1 engagement. I've got a sample web resource that I like. Click on that, take a look and see if that's anything that might be helpful for you. And then what I would like you to do is share your own web resource, or it could be any type of resource. It can be a video or a video series, something that would be interesting to elementary science students or to an elementary science teacher as a resource that they can use in their classrooms. Please do put some explanation about your resource here, and there's some guiding questions, 3 to 4 sentences in summary. And if you would, please post your resource to Blackboard. And if we go back to Blackboard and you go over here to discussion board, please do post it right there on discussion board, right there where it says engagement resources. So that is a place where we can share our great resources and come back at a later time and hopefully use those resources in our own classroom. Okay, let's take a look at section number 2. Section number 2, we're talking about exploration. And the exploration, the assignment that I would like you to do is I would like you to find a science book, or a book about science, a book dealing with science. This can be fiction, it can be nonfiction, but it needs to be something that's at the elementary level. I just feel that science and literacy are so important, and as students see stories about science, or journeys or whatever topic that the books are about, it's going to spark their interest. It's going to make connections. I mean, this can be a book about butterflies. This can be about the hungry caterpillar, and then you can expand that out and make it something that's a science. What do caterpillars eat? What are the caterpillars in our area? What do they eat? So there's all kinds of great ways that you can use books in science. So these can be books that you already own in your own home, books that you have at your school library, or your public library, local public library. But I would like you to pick a book, which actually for me is the hardest part, picking the one science book, because there's so many great elementary science books out there. And I'm not talking about textbooks. I'm talking about storybooks, books where it looks and feels elementary, but it is exploring science. It's learning more about science. Talk with me if you have some questions about a book appropriateness, but I don't want it to have a textbook feel. I want it to have an exploratory, a fun feel that will inspire your students to learn more about science. Of course, put your bibliographic information here. And I've got the science standards. All you have to do is click on those, go to the grade level, and then you can just write down the science standard, like SC 5, 5th grade, whatever it is. Just write down the science. You don't have to give me the whole explanation about it. I can look that up. Give me the, all the bibliographic information. Then just some summaries here. What is the book about? 2 or 3 sentences, just short, just enough to tell me what this book is about. How does this book engage the reader? What is it that's making this book interesting? How does it inform the reader? Okay, so engagement is like, what are the pictures? What's the storyline? What are the things that's hooking that reader into the book? And then, of course, what is the information? Because we do want it to be a science book. What are they sharing? Is it the weather? Is it the water cycle? Is it weather? What is it that the book is talking about? How does it challenge the reader? At some point it needs to give the reader some motivation, to explore more, to learn more, to have that wonder and that fascination with science. And what has attracted you to this book? And this is, of course, your own opinion. What is it that you like about this book? What is it that you think is going to inspire your students? What do you think that your students are going to take away from this book? So just a few sentence summary on each one of these things. I love elementary science book, and it's partly my mother was an elementary librarian, and she was all the time picking out science books for me, and I was reading those, and I just really got excited about science. So probably my mom had a big impact with my excitement, my love for science, because there were so many wonderful books about science that inspired me to go on to a job teaching science, which I love to this day. Love teaching science. Okay, very good. Let's take a look at Section 3, Explanation. We're looking at formative and summative evaluation. And I have two texts that I would like you to read for that. And so if you just click on those texts, it'll take you to those. There'll be documents, but you will need to flip to those page numbers 59 to 77 and 159 to 164. So just, don't read that whole document. Goodness, that's way too big. Just read those pages and you'll see those articles popping out at you. As you read those articles, keep in mind these guiding questions. And as you form answers to those guiding questions, please summarize your responses in 5 to 8 sentences and put those responses right in here. Of course, you can do more. I will read more. But what I'm trying to get from you is some time. Think of this as discussion. If we were meeting together, what things would you like to share with the class that you found meaningful? What are the things that you would like to speak out about? What are some things that you even disagree with or you find it just doesn't work in your classroom? All these things are valuable. All these things are responses that I would welcome from you to put into here, because this is kind of like our dynamic classroom that's online, well, that's asynchronous. So be sure and share things that you would be that you have an opinion about, that you want to share based on the readings that you just made. Section 4, Elaboration. What I would like you to do is I would like you to develop a lesson using an online resource. And that online resource is BlendSpace. I've been using BlendSpace probably just a year and a half, and I find it so wonderfully simple, so full of great resources that I have my students develop their own BlendSpace lessons, and they can take that web link, share that with their parents, show their parents, hey, Mom, look what I found. I found these great web resources. I found some videos. I found some pictures. Here's some simple text that I've put here with it. And it's all kind of in like a, what I want to say, comic strip type format. And so they can take and put their information in, and they can easily access tons of great graphics and information. There is a BlendSpace web link, a BlendSpace tutorial. I talk about BlendSpace. Here's the BlendSpace tutorial with Dr. Bradley. There are BlendSpace testimonials that are there. Take a look through BlendSpace. I think it's a wonderful resource that I would like you to take a few minutes with and develop, work with it, and see if that might be something that you would want to share with your own students. Like say when you take them to your computer lab time, that they can develop their own BlendSpace on their own lesson. And the lesson topic is just wide open. You can choose astronomy, you can choose weather, you can choose the solar system, you can choose the water cycle. I keep going back to those, the rocks, the rock cycle. Any one of those topics would be great to develop a BlendSpace lesson with. The objectives that I would like you to do are right here. An introduction, an engagement, a explanation, evaluation, and I kind of go in through here for evaluation, just 3 questions at the end. that you can have. Now, Blend Space has a section where you can write your own quizzes. It's a lot of fun, and I think that you're going to like this resource. To show how you're going to do the Blend Space, just put your web link here, look for the blue share button in Blend Space, and put the slide numbers beside the corresponding lesson areas. So if you have slide 1, that's going to be your name. Slide 2 is engagement. You may want to have more than one for engagement. That's okay. But your next set of slides are explore, explain, expand, and of course evaluate. Any early finishers, that would be the next slide. So no, it's not restricted to 7 slides, but this is just an idea there for you to look at. Okay, well, let's move on to our alternative formative assessments. One of these that I found really fun is to have a newspaper article. Now, think about this newspaper article in terms of what is appropriate for your student's grade level. So if you're at a 5th grade level, you're going to be writing more than, say, if you're teaching at a 4th grade level. So think of it in terms of what you might be writing as a student in that level. So, of course, we're only looking at a few sentences, and I say 4 to 6 sentences, but if you're teaching grade 3, it's not going to be quite as much. So think of it in terms of what your students might be writing in terms of a newspaper article. And this is just to give us the opportunity to go and do what we would be asking our students to do. So think of the things that you have done in this module and write a short newspaper article about the information here. So think of it in terms of what would you be wanting your students to do if you assign them an alternative formative assessment such as writing a newspaper article. Okay, and finally, our science mystery, our optional assignment. If you want to skip either the final project or the final report, jump in, look at that science mystery video, Google it, see what you can find about it. You're welcome to use the explanations from the internet, but please do cite your sources. And all I need when I say cite, all I need is the web link. It doesn't have to be an APA or anything fancy like that. Just give me the web link. I'll click on it, and then I can see where you got your information from for your explanation. That's it. Module 3 is in the bag. Please contact me if you have any questions. Happy to help. Happy to talk about science. Happy to work with you on these. If you see some modifications you would like to make on this lesson, let's talk about that. And let's make these lessons as valuable as possible so you have as much takeaway from these lessons and you can take away good things and put those to work in your classroom. I hope you have a great day. Talk with you later.